Welcome back, everybody. We do have yet another game of FRB Grand Tournament material for you guys, and I am Senex,
This is Paul.
and we are pleased to bring you into NMxMaSa spawning as the purple Terran in the bottom left against GoSuViBe, the green Zerg in the top right.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a TVZ, my absolute favorite matchup to watch and to play. It's just so action-packed, so much squirming, dying bugs, and Terran killing everything. Totally not biased.
Yeah, we can definitely tell what race it is that Pull plays. I, however, am a Zerg player myself, so I personally like seeing gigantic Baneling hits and kind of like infestors in the sunset as they're fungling with enormous packs of Marines, and they're all dying. And the most beautiful sight of all, two medevacs that are currently over a
Oh
space of
no,
empty ground
don't say it.
being fungled.
No, or just two medevacs that are like on their way to do like some awesome harassment. They could potentially be game changing, and then these mutants are just like, "What's up, dead?" No problem. Anyways, so just catching you guys back up on the map that we're playing on. It is Devolution. So this is the FRB version. Oh, Chris, actually, no, it's the only version. Is there another Devolution? Am I like
There is
mistaken
not
here?
Devolution. It's
Okay.
a FRB map only.
Yeah, so this is the only Devolution created by Iron Man SC. Is that
It's
one
not
right too?
created
No,
by-
God, it's Baron. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, sorry. Anyways, created by Baron. All you map makers just always get me so confused.
That is actually another community I would like to do a shout out
Yeah.
to. The map making community has been incredibly active in the FRB scene. That was not something I would have at first predicted, but I've been totally loving. If you just go to the custom maps section of Team Liquid and scroll through there, you'll see 6M for 6 mineral fields on a lot of maps. People either converting old maps and
Yep.
trying to find ways to make it so that like a current ladder map would be balanced in FRB, or making their own maps. And some of them are amazing. One of my personal favorites, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's tiled like Tron. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
just so pretty to look at.
Oh, I have to go check that out. You guys should definitely check it out too. So yeah, obviously show your support for the map making community. None of this would be possible without them. We'd just be playing on terrible maps that I designed with like no idea what I was doing. It would just be so bad. Anyways.
Yeah, as we see right now on this map, currently the expansion almost completed for GoSuViBe. He went for the hatchery first, and the spawning pool also completing. He's getting his gas. Getting your gas a little bit later is generally okay if you're going to throw 3 guys on it, just because you mine it so quickly, and we'll get up to that 100 gas for Zergling speed without any particular difficulty, though we do see that Masa is currently going for a Reactor Hellion play, which means that the speedlings will be very important for him to have.
Yeah, speed things are obviously going to be essential for GoSuViBe to be able to hold off these Hellions. Of course, Masa actually, yeah, there we go, getting the switcheroo there, and has not. Let's see, I'm actually interested to see if he'll go for an expansion. I do think that he'll be getting his CC. Oh, he's already got it up. I'm so dumb. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Masa is getting that CC as well as these reacted Hellions, and he will, you know, be okay economically.
He definitely will be, and a little bit of kind of like subtlety in the FRB matchup for those who are interested in like a little bit of analysis. Getting your command center and other things on the low ground is very, very good, just because it allows you to get access to those 6 mineral fields earlier. When you only have 6 mineral fields in your main, you only need 12 workers for optimal saturation, with 18 being just about the maximum. And so as we see right now, we already have Masa at 18 SCVs, so even with that refinery, he'd be getting better returns by having them on that low ground. So he wants to get that as fast as possible and is willing to take a small risk in order to do it.
Yeah, and it does look like Masa is moving in here with these Hellions, managed to get 1 drone kill right there, and it looks like he's going to be forced out. He's also going to get another Zerg kill, or a Zergling kill, but oh, making the decision to go for the main base right there. Oh, this is going to be really dangerous. If he can micro well, he will be okay. Will he get, oh my god, he took out so many Zerglings right there. Excellent job, and of course this other Hellion is moving in here. Now Masa is going to be going for these free drones. There is 1 Zergling, however, and a Queen that will be able to clean up all of these Hellions.
Vibe was really forced to pay for his decision to go for the a little bit later metabolic boost. So many Zerglings went down there and were just really not able to do anything, though now that they do have speed, they'll be able to surround and clean up these Hellions, particularly on creep, without a huge amount of difficulty. The Spine Crawler finally going up, but when we just look at the units tab, it's 22 drones against 22 SCVs with 2 mules going, and that is not a place that Zerg wants to be.
No, absolutely not. Now, it does look like GoSuViBe is sending a ton of Zerglings down here for the counterattack that usually follows a reactored Hellion attack, and he will get a surround off on one of those Hellions. Will he get the surround off on another? It does not look like that's going to happen. Another Hellion joins the fray, and it looks like MxMaSa will be able to hold on for just a little while. Of course, he is forced to move all of his SCVs as well as two mules up into his main base.
Yeah, some very nice harassment, or indirect harassment, I should say, going down right there. And actually, these Zerglings still being a terror, running around and killing even more Hellions, and continuing to work on this supply depot and totally preventing any mining from going down at this natural expansion. At the same time, Vibe is taking his own third, so he's going to be in an extremely potent macro position.
Yeah, Vibe in a great position this match, and it looks like MxMaSa actually is going to go ahead and add on another Rax here. He needs to get some more units, but really he needs to finish off that wall. He is so vulnerable right now, and I will state that typically when you see reactored Hellions, you need to do, as a Terran player, so much damage for it to be worth it, and as a matter of fact, you really want to try to not lose your Hellions. The only time it's okay to lose your Hellions is if you basically take out every single one of the workers. So, yeah, I mean, you can see our Terran player paying for that just now.
Yeah, and because he lost, though, he has lost those units. He has lost any semblance of map control. Right now, the Zerg player's total just control over the center, and is able to pretty much move these Zerglings to the center with impunity. Though we do see that MxMaSa is currently going for a whole bunch of upgrades. So because he's getting the 1-1, he also has the combat shield going, he has Stim already finished, and is moving into starport play. He's finally able to start chewing through that enormous gas bank that he got earlier. For those who noticed it, he went up to 700 gas at an earlier point in the game, so he's right now trying to do something with all of that.
Yeah, so he's obviously going for a marine heavy army composition, and also adding on a reactor to his factory, no doubt to switch that out with the starport. Now, in my first game of TBZ on this match, I noticed that tanks are really necessary against Zerg. So we'll see how MxMaSa's build does go and does play out, but from the looks of it, he's not actually getting any tanks, or at least not yet.
They'll have to be particularly careful with a almost entirely or even pure marine build, though, because the infestation pit is about halfway done right now, and the 1 armor for Zerglings is already started. So with a good number of Zerglings, particularly if they can have at least mostly similar upgrades with the Marines and some very good fungals, it will be quite difficult for the pure marine and medevac style to work.
Yeah, this is most certainly going to come down to the micro of the players, and MxMaSa really going to need to hit a hard timing, or else he's just going to be caught out of luck. So we...
Yeah, no, as we do check out in the kind of economy, no, do not worry about it, Paul. It is now 49 drones against 40 SCVs, so Vibe has been able to kind of equalize the economic situation, despite that very successful bit of early harassment that cost him a whole bunch of lings and a whole bunch of drones. However, there is now a double drop moving in, so it doesn't look like MxMaSa is content to leave things that way.
No, but Vibe has spotted this with his Zergling that was at the front of the base, and actually, I don't know if he noticed it or not. I would think that he does. He is Vibe, so he is pretty good at this game. However, MxMaSa is going to go ahead and move around, and actually, Vibe Zerglings are a little bit out of position, so it's very possible that he did not scout that. Of course, this third base is, or actually I guess it would be the fourth base, is going up here at the right side of the map, and that is exactly where these medevacs are heading, so most likely we'll be able to deny that from being produced for now.
MxMaSa does need to be kind of careful, though. The infestors are only 15 seconds away from completing, and so if this drop does not get in like right now, it's going to be very difficult for him to catch a future timing. All the Zerglings streaming back across, but a pretty good position for the Marines. However, there's enough of a concave that, yeah, unfortunately for MxMaSa, he's forced to pick up, but no, the fungal's landing, and particularly with the Queen support, all of those units being taken down, and an enormous advantage going for Vibe after that attack.
Yeah, man, that was just, I don't know about the decision-making right there. I really feel like if he had just gone for that hatchery, like I said, it would have been a lot more damage, even if it was forced to cancel, you know. Just losing so many Marines like that is so bad for our Terran player.
He has used the opportunity, though, to finish up siege mode and is right now moving out to try to kind of secure his third command center, just like taking control of the space that he needs in order to make that work. He has the command center about halfway done, but there is a big attack massing in the middle, though I'm not sure that that will be able to break an entrenched siege line because those infestors have used a lot of their energy just dealing with that drop.
Yeah, I don't think that it's going to be enough infestors and zerglings at all. Maybe if there were some banelings thrown into the mix, but I think Zerg is very smartly pulling back right now. Just going to chill out till he has a little bit more. And as a matter of fact, the supplies are really even for these places. But we do see a drop here up at the top, going to be denied by these zerglings and spine crawlers, and actually not do very much damage at all.
Yeah, and now that drop is being spotted and very easily cleaned up by this marauding pack of infestors, they are going to even be able to kill off that medevac. So definitely GoSuViBe continuing to recover from the early damage that he took, and is really now taking a significant advantage, up to 130 supply against 108.
I don't know if you see this or not, but over at the right side of the map, Masa got another drop and was actually able to take out that hatchery successfully. And of course this group of Marines has survived, so he did not even lose the Marines, was able to take out that hatch. Really good job by Masa with that double-pronged attack.
Yeah, the double-pronged attack definitely pulling apart GoSuViBe's forces. He's been trying to keep them mostly clustered up so that he won't have to worry about anything being sniped, but definitely paying for it right there. Though the fourth base for him is going up in the kind of center-left position, and it also gives him access to even more Vespene gas.
It does look like our Zerg player has decided that he wants to try to go in for an attack and make something happen here. He has a ton of Zerglings and a ton of infestors, but honestly, so many tanks that I would be, as a Zerg player, very scared to attack into this army right now. But he is going to go ahead and do that. Gets an excellent fungal there off on these Marines. There are no medevacs around to heal them up, and then he loses them instantly. Of course, dropping some infested Terrans here, and only a few tanks are left. Of course, there's not many more Zerg units at the moment, but he's killed so many Marines and tanks right there in that attack.
Yeah, pretty good trade for GoSuViBe. Even though he ended up losing a lot of Zerglings, he was able to really thin out his opponent's siege tank numbers, now down to only 3. And if those continue to remain in a kind of back position, no, actually they're being unsieged and moved up, which is definitely something that Masa needed to be doing. He needs those in order to protect this third base that's actually continuing to be harassed by this kind of marauding group of Zerglings.
Yes, indeed, and it does look like Masa has been trying to do some drops all around the base, but they've just been defended by so many spine crawlers at each base, and just really great awareness by GoSuViBe. Now, it does look like we do have a 1-1 almost finished for our Terran player. I'm sorry, make that 2-2 almost finished for our Terran player. And let's take a look at the upgrades for Zerg. He does have 2-1 right now, so Zerg is ahead even in upgrades in this game.
He is also going to be very significantly ahead in tech in just a moment. He's moving into Hive and has his Spire on the way. He's also banked himself up a nice amount of money. So if he's just able to keep his opponent from moving out, he'll be able to transition into a Broodlord tech that right now Masa has absolutely no method of dealing with. He has no Vikings in the air and only a single reacted starport. So if he's caught off guard with this, it'll be very difficult for him to handle.
Yes, indeed so. Let's take a look at what our Terran player is making. He's continuing to mass up bio units, Marauders, and Marines. I'm actually kind of curious as to why he's going for Marauders right here. I don't know, I just feel like investing that gas into medevacs would be a little bit better, but it looks like Masa has managed to take out those destructible rocks, and a lot of infestors here are actually quite vulnerable. Burrows them for now, and it looks like these Zerglings are actually going to maybe clean up these Marines. It's going to be really close. Yeah, more Zerglings do come in here and do clean up the Marines that were in the base of Masa. Now,
there had been an absolutely enormous number of mules dropped down on that base, though, and most of them are dead, and actually target firing them down with the last couple of Zerglings, making so much of that energy be wasted. So a pretty effective attack just in terms of the harassment, and at the same time, Vibe is taking that center location that, while it's very vulnerable, can be very easily sieged by a Terran opponent, has access to 2 rich Vespene geysers, and if he can hold that for a noticeable amount of time, he might find himself enormously ahead.
Yes, indeed. So we will have to see what Masa does. I think maybe if he could just get some really good drops off, actually a lot of really good drops, he might work his way back into this game. But at this point in time, he's just so far behind in supply. And as a matter of fact, the base on the left side of the map that was a planetary fortress, or that is a planetary fortress, is most certainly going to get taken out. A group of Marines are moving up here, though, to take out these Zerglings, and the PF is doing a lot of damage to them. And actually, the SCVs do make it up here to repair, but it's going to be really close. Will he lose it? No. He manages to hold on to that PF for now.
A 37 kill Planetary Fortress,
Wow.
definitely showing how effective static defenses can be in an FRB game, because while just like Planetary Fortresses are very good in general in ordinary games of StarCraft 2, you can trade that many Zerglings and not worry too much about it. But losing that much supply for GoSuViBe at this stage of the game was very dangerous.
Now we do see a Greater Spire just now finishing for our Zerg player, and that does mean Broodlords, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm not sure how our Terran player will be able to put up with that. All he has really are Marines. He doesn't have, obviously he doesn't have any Vikings, so he doesn't know that this tech switch is coming. Actually, I wonder, yeah. Oh, he has seen, okay, so he does see the Greater Spire, so he will possibly be able to adjust accordingly. But there are no Vikings out here. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, he has not really started any of the necessary tech switches that he would need. A little bit of harassment going off at the top base, but a small group of Zerglings just able to finish that off. The upgrades advantage definitely going to Vibe at this point, though he is moving in, once again trying to take out that Planetary Fortress, spawning a whole bunch of infested Terrans. And it looks as though they are probably going to be able to take it down. Yeah, the SCVs were not really able... Oh, well, okay, there we go. It is actually finished off. And getting himself a pretty good number of workers killed, now up to about 25.
Yeah, very unfortunate loss there for Masa, not managing to hold on to that base. Even with SCVs there, were actually blocked, not able to repair. Those infested Terrans just did a ton of damage. Very, very scary for that awesome Planetary Fortress. Alright, so
with that...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
I was just going to say, it looks like we do see some Broodlords in production right now, and actually a ton of Broodlords already on the field, as well as Infestors, and I'm sure a huge swarm of Zerglings will be produced, and actually they're already here just below the army.
Yeah, though we do see that Masa has moved out and is attempting to deny that very valuable base with the 2 high-yield rich Vespene geysers, and he probably is going to be able to kill it, though I think that Vibe has basically gotten the value out of it he needed. He still has a 1,500 gas bank and has gotten out 7 Broodlords and 10 Infestors supported by 86 Zerglings, and is now moving in to cut that army off from retreating. A whole bunch of Marines and Marauders being caught off guard, and really all that these siege chains can do is try to run away. There's only 4 total Vikings on the field, though they are being produced 3 at a time, so he might be able to recover from this, but the Terran player is in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, once again, he's just fallen so far behind in supply. There was a point in the game where he was almost caught up to his Zerg opponent, but now GoSuViBe is at 190 versus 154, and make that 200 for GoSuViBe.
Yeah, and as these tanks siege up, that's actually a really bad decision. The splash damage that they do when they're trying to shoot down Broodlings is so dangerous, particularly when Fungals are just blanketing the army. And unfortunately, so many Marines died right there, and a large group of Corruptors moving in to help deal with the air of his opponent. That Masa is now down by 80 supply, and it's just looking like he's in a terrible position for the rest of this game.
Now, there are a lot of Vikings out here who are trying to micro successfully, but actually get fungal growth. So those Vikings are indeed going to go down, and the Broodlings successfully taking out all of these tanks, and there is the GG.
So GoSuViBe really just showing us how you can definitely get late game armies. You just have to really work for it. He did a fantastic job defending himself against multi-pronged drops that were able to snipe bases, but he was so aggressive in his expanding, he was still able to get the death ball that he needed and win the game.
Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and move on into the next game. Just give us a quick moment to take a break, and we'll be right back in just a few seconds, so don't go anywhere.